This is Flip TV News. Here are the headlines. Federal government may impose excise tax on parallel market transactions. NLC threatens strike over delayed MOU. INEC raises concern over court judgment. Senate probes repairs on Nigerian refineries. Comedian Mark Angel reveals secret marriage divorce. Now the news in details. The federal government may soon begin the imposition of excise tax penalties on foreign exchange transactions done outside the official market window as part of the moves to discourage multiple exchange rates in the country. This is one of the 20 recommendations put forward by the Presidential Fiscal Policy and Tax Reform Committee established by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu in July to evaluate and provide guidance on reforms aimed at shaping Nigeria's fiscal policy and tax system. The tax committee led by Taiwo Udele proposed a set of quick-win recommendations. These recommendations aim to tackle urgent economic concerns such as exchange rate management, the consequences of removing fuel subsidies, controlling inflation, and promoting economic growth. One of these suggestions is the introduction of an excise tax on foreign exchange transactions that occur outside the official market.
Think about young Nigerians, many of them very smart and intelligent, but today we have legal and tax impediments that will not allow global organizations to hire Nigerians in Nigeria to work within the global value system. We will remove those impediments so that people can then gain employment and dollars while they're here in Nigeria, which not only helps with our foreign exchange management, but ensures that people also have prosperity to live themselves and families from poverty. And of course, they will pay taxes on their income to the government. Those critical reforms involves even rewriting our major tax laws, addressing something that everybody in this room will be very much familiar with, multiplicity of taxes. We have over 60 taxes and levies officially collectible by federal government, state government, and local government. Unofficially, those taxes are over 200, making life difficult for our people. So the objective we have, and that's what we're working towards, is to bring all of that to a single digit. So the taxes at all levels of government combined, we think should be less than 10. Some of the reforms we need to introduce, we have to go to the Constitution itself.
On to the next. The state chapters of the Nigeria Labour Congress and the Trade Union Congress have expressed displeasure at the slow pace of implementing the Memorandum of Understanding it signed with the federal government to avert its planned nationwide strike. The organized labor warned that failure to implement the agreement before the October 30 deadline might leave them with no choice but to go on strike. They added that they had commenced mobilization of their members across the country.
The NLC decided that if by Wednesday next week that the NNPC, a private limited liability company that illegally announced a price regime in the oil sector, refuses to revert itself for negotiation to continue, that the Nigerian Labour Congress and all its affiliates will withdraw their services and commence protest nationwide until this is compliant, and that NNPC doesn't have the monopoly to act illegally, even as a private company.
The national leadership of the NLC and TUC had on October 1 reached an agreement with the federal government to pay 35,000 naira to all federal workers beginning from September, pending when a new national minimum wage would be signed into law. The resolution provided that the wage award would be paid to the federal workers for 6 months, while states were encouraged to extend the same benefits to their workers. Meanwhile, the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) has expressed concern over the spate of judgments and orders from courts on the November 11 governorship election in Bayelsa, Imo, and Kogi states. The INEC chairman, Professor Mahmood Yakubu, said this on Tuesday in Abuja at the Commission quarterly meeting with leaders of the political parties on the governorship election. Yakubu that such orders could affect the cost of the election as well as posed challenge in the electoral management process.
As electioneering campaigns continue to intensify, the Commission reiterates its concern about the spate of violence in the 3 states involving parties and candidates. I wish to remind you as party leaders that free and fair elections are only possible in an atmosphere of peace. On the issue of candidature, the Commission is concerned about the spate of recent judgments and orders of courts in respect of the nomination, substitution, or disqualification of candidates after all the sensitive materials have been printed. The reprinting of the materials in compliance with court orders within a short period of time is not only expensive, but the management of the process is also very challenging for the Commission.
In another development, the Senate on Tuesday constituted an ad hoc committee to investigate all contracts awarded for the rehabilitation of the 4 moribund refineries in the country. The Deputy Senate President Barau Jibrin presided over the plenary set up the committee after Sunday Karimi Kogi West moved a motion to investigate the turnaround maintenance project of Nigerian refineries to forestall waste of public resources. Mr. Jibrin appointed the senator representing Kogi East, Issa Jibrin, as the committee chairman, while the chairman of the Senate Committees on Petroleum Resources, Downstream, Upstream Gas, Finance, Appropriation, and Public Account are members.
When I did my investigation, the Naira input alone is over 11 trillion between 2010 to 2022. Not to even talk of the foreign currency input. We talk of 500, almost $600 million. At another time, turn around maintenance to other companies, over $2 billion. The one to Daewoo that was signed this year alone, just 2 months to the end of in February this year, it's over $400 and something million.
Finally on the news, Nigerian comedian Mark Angel, popular for his skits with the young Emanuela, has disclosed that he was once secretly married and is now divorced. The scriptwriter and skit maker made this known on a podcast hosted by Teju Babyface, Oyelakin, which was posted on Tuesday, October 23. Thanks for joining our news broadcast. Subscribe on our channel for latest updates. Okwemi Olugbemi reporting.